Daniela Williams for Inside Cannabis. Today, I'm pleased to introduce you to Jessica Cranney. She is the CEO of GRN Mile High. So let's get to it. Jessica, please tell me about yourselves. Tell our viewers a little bit more about you and what you do in the cannabis industry.
Hi, Daniela. Good afternoon. And thank you for having me, first of all. Pleasure to be here. As you mentioned, my name is Jessica Cranney. I like to say that I provide the intersection of cannabis roots and traditional suits to help elevate the cannabis industry. After spending almost 20 years in corporate America, leading large teams of 250 plus locations across 5 stores, I delightedly found my way into the cannabis space about 6 years ago with a large MSO vertically integrated operator here in Colorado. I have a reputation for both people first leadership and database decision making. And that leads me to the work that I do today, which is with both cannabis and can adjacent operators. And I specialize in building high performing and highly engaged teams through initiatives supporting recruiting, training and development, and engagement and retention.
Wow, love that. Well, I thank you for sharing that. All amazing services that are so needed. So, let me ask you this. What trends are you seeing right now in regards to people and talent management within the cannabis industry?
I'm excited to share that I've seen a lot of evolution in operators' commitment to culture
Okay.
for their brand, for their teams. I will say it's talked about often, and it is executed in a variety of ways. Some are really tremendous, and some have some areas of opportunity. But it's great to see those conversations happening. And when companies can define their culture with tangible things more
Mhm.
than a word that's used in a deck or in a newsletter, that's where things really start to make the magic happen. And when we talk about the people side of things, which I know is kind of a passion point for you and your team and me and mine, on the recruiting front, it really is. I like to say it's 20% science. That's the job description and the resume. Do we have a match? Great, we can have a conversation. 80% of it really is that art, the energy match, the pace, the cadence, the working rhythms. Do you show up at a facility and everyone's wearing orange socks and you have a massive orange sock phobia? Things that, but when you're recruiting, really looking for those right matches deeper than just the skill set, because truly, if you have the right people, the playbook falls into place. And even if the playbook needs some tweaks or editing, you have the people in place that are going to proactively and creatively come up with solutions or better mouse traps. The other thing is it's kind of a subset of that, but we're starting to see and should continue to see a bigger and better investment in resources into team member training and development. And especially in the emergent markets, one of the biggest kind of palm to forehead moments an operator has is when they bring somebody in and they train them up in the industry, and unfortunately lose them to somebody down the street because they paid just a little bit more, or those kinds of things. So starting to really demonstrate mutual investment and the importance of growing, pun intended, together with employees.
Yeah, I could not agree more. Perfectly said. Anyone that knows me knows that I am a huge proponent of PEOs and the benefits to companies and employees. I'm very passionate about that, especially for cannabis, which is a big reason why I kind of came into this industry. Is there's such a huge opportunity to professionalize and help these owners have to break away, right? How can we help them focus? How can we help them be successful? How can we give employees access to things that every other employee in every other industry gets, whether it's direct deposit or benefits, 401k, training. And for so long, people in cannabis haven't had access to that. Owners have no one to turn to get true expertise and help. And I'm so passionate about so many of the things that you said, as you mentioned earlier in this call. And to be able to offer solutions to help these owners focus on keeping their license and then being successful and profitable is huge. And so I commend you for having that same passion that I do. And I want to switch to that and kind of give you the opportunity to share with myself and our viewers, what are your services? I know you're more than just a recruiter, but you're a management consultant. You're through and through dedicated. So tell us more about that. And at the end of that, how can we contact you more? Where can we find you and all the goods?
You bet. Well, one of the things, Daniela, that I love, because I also see the value in PEO services. And one of the things that I loved when I got to learn more about you and your work, one of the differentiators that I think that is a common thread that is in need in the cannabis space is that dedication to customization. And I understand that you guys provide dedicated, consultants and advisors per each of, your accounts. And so, and that kind of gets into a lot of what I'll talk about here in a second. But I think why I say that is that thread of customization and a dedication to, we all have to play by the same rules, but no two operators are the same. And so I love that you guys have found that is a value to our industry's operators. And so in that spirit, that's how I found my way in this industry, operating my company for the last 4 years after my year and a half in cannabis, or directly with an operator here. But effectively, we do three things exceptionally well. And they all are talent management based. We recruit high performing leaders, we train high performing teams, and we retain highly engaged groups. And we do that, and I'd be happy to kind of dig into each of those services a little bit more. But I think the underscoring comment that I would make is, much like the work that Palient does, everything that we do is customized by operator. They're all at various stages. Some of our largest clients have 80 doors across multiple states and are vertically integrated. Some of our smaller clients are a single license holder in a single state with 10 employees. Some of our clients are can adjacent, where they're a lighting or technology or security or accounting advisor, where they're operating in a variety of different spaces, and they're not necessarily as bound by some of the plant touching regulations. And so when it comes to recruiting, training, and engaging those teams, given my background in both, again, traditional corporate America and both the cannabis industry, right? I've weighed weed on 420. I've been through state inspections. I've left cannabis cultivations with weed on the bottom of my high heels. I understand how to take things that we know work and proven business models and help apply them to our clients' needs, given where they're at today, where they want to be. And we do that in a really customized fashion. Again, focusing on people first. I believe firmly, and I have built pretty unapologetically winning teams by focusing on people first. And again, having those right people in their right roles, doing the right things. And above all else, with that commitment to a cultural cadence and signature moves, the rest happens fairly seamlessly. So when you do that, you save yourself a lot of time and money. And that's where I like to help operators. That's where I like to add value to our operating clients. So in a lot, I think your next part of that was, how can you guys get in touch with me?
Yes. How can people get in touch with you? Please share.
All right. Well, we're on all of the things, GRN Mile High on LinkedIn, GRN_Mile High on Instagram. I'm personally Jessica Cranney on LinkedIn as well. I believe that when we post this or publish it, I'll have my email address and phone number in there that you guys are more than welcome to include.
Yes.
And candidly, I'm a little too old for TikTok or Snapchat, but pretty much anything else is fair game, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, I love it. I'm right there with you. And above all, I just want to say thank you. Your knowledge is absolutely wonderful. You are a breath of fresh air. This engagement has been great. I thank you so much for joining us today, and we will talk soon.
Absolutely. I was honored to be here. Thank you for having me, and have a great rest of your day.
Goodbye.